townhouses often seem like the perfect middle ground between a detached home and a condo. But here's the thing, if you're not careful, what may look like the perfect home could quickly turn into your worst nightmare. And I'm talking about constant repair bills, neighbor issues that can literally keep you up at night, repair bills that can financially cripple you, and at the end of the day, a property that might be a struggle for you to resell because of a slew of unforeseen problems. So I just want you to be aware that if you come across a townhouse at a price that seems too good to be true, well, there's usually a reason for that. And those reasons could potentially end up draining your bank account later on down the road. And so today I'm going to reveal 10 big mistakes that buyers make when buying a townhouse. And trust me, whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned homeowner, you're going to want to stick around until the end of this video, because if you miss just one of these, it could cost you a ton in unexpected expenses and frustration. Or even worse, it could trap you in a home that nobody else ever wants to buy. Now, before we get into this, if you're new to this channel, my name is Glen Hopkins, and I create videos all about Canadian real estate and my local market of Surrey and White Rock, BC. So if that's something you're interested in, please be sure to go ahead, hit that subscribe button. That way you're not going to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Also, if you would like my help with either buying or selling a home, there is a link in the description box below where you can schedule a call with me. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Number one is the low strata fees and a small contingency reserve fund, or the CRF as they call it. Now, low strata fees, it might seem like a win at first glance. I mean, we all want to pay less each month, right? But here's the catch. If the strata fees, if they seem too low, this is a major red flag that the contingency reserve fund, or the CRF, is underfunded. And the purpose of this fund is to cover big repairs, things like your roof replacement, building maintenance, landscaping, and so much more. And if it's underfunded, guess who's going to be on the hook when something goes wrong? You are. So you really want to be aware and know that when you see low strata fees today, they often mean big bills later down the road. So make sure that the CRF balance, you want to look at that and make sure there's a healthy reserve. Generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, the CRF should hold approximately 25% of whatever the strata's yearly expense budget is. So make sure that you review this very carefully with the help of your realtor. And if you find that the reserve fund is low, that's a red flag. It's a sign of financial trouble ahead. And sadly, a lot of buyers miss this very important detail, only to end up with serious headaches later down the road as problems within the townhouse complex, they start to pop up. And that leads us to every strata owner's worst nightmare, and that is the special assessment. Now, this is where it can get really pricey. But really quick, before I get into special assessments, I'm curious, if you're thinking about buying a townhouse, but you haven't done so yet, what's been holding you back specifically? What's your biggest concern? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about special assessments. And this is something that every homeowner in a stratified property fears, and for very good reason. Special assessments are where townhouse ownership can go sideways really fast because, well, frankly, they can quite literally financially ruin some people. So to help protect and prepare yourself against this sort of thing, you want to make sure you review the depreciation report. Now, this is going to be an absolute must because the depreciation report is where you're going to find a complete list of items, many big ticket items, things that at a specific point in the future, they will need to be repaired or replaced. Things like, the new roof or new painting of the entire complex, or replacing all of the fencing or all of the windows, swimming pools, pending legal disputes, all sorts of things that are big, expensive stuff. So if the strata hasn't saved enough to cover these expected, and they are expected expenses, you are more than likely looking at a very hefty bill. And here's the real kicker. They can hit you with these assessments with little or no warning, and they can demand that you pay, or you're going to face penalties and potential legal action. So it's super important. Always dig into the depreciation report and ask those tough questions. Don't just take the seller's word for it either, okay? You want to get all of the facts, because missing this could set you up for financial disaster, quite literally. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at number 3. Number 3 is buying a townhouse without a fenced yard. Now, I know this might seem like a small detail, but if you've got pets or kids, or you've ever thought about reselling later down the road, a fenced yard is going to be a definite bonus. It's one of those features that adds resale value, and it's going to make life just way more convenient. Without a fenced yard, you're going to be stuck with constantly walking your dog or, worrying about your kids running out on the street. Not to mention a fenced yard, it's also a big selling point when it comes time to resell. So, I know that a lot of people don't think about this before it's actually too late. So consider buying a townhouse with a fenced yard. And if it doesn't have one, consider going the other direction. And speaking of pets, it's not just about having a yard. There is something else that could become an even bigger issue for you, and that is pet restrictions. Pet restrictions can be a deal breaker. Unfortunately, it can blindside a lot of buyers. That's because a lot of people, they just kind of assume that, your pet-friendly golden retriever or whatever is welcome, but strata bylaws, they can actually be surprisingly strict, and they can often limit the size or the number or even the breed of the types of pets allowed. And so here's a very important tip for you. And that is, these things, if they're not clearly outlined in the bylaws, you always want to get confirmation in writing. You want to get it in writing from the Strata Council before making an offer or removing your subjects. Make sure that you can get your pet into your unit without any issues. Otherwise, you may end up finding out too late that, your dog, or maybe you've got a potbelly pig, I don't know, whatever, is not welcome in the complex. And you really don't want to be in that situation where you're forced to choose between, rehoming your pet or backing out of the purchase. And trust me, this is something that happens more often than you might think, and it can be a total nightmare. And if you think pet restrictions are a potential pitfall worth avoiding, wait until you hear about playgrounds. At first glance, having a playground near your townhouse, it might sound like a great idea, especially if you have young kids. But let's be real. Kids are loud, and that noise doesn't stop just because you need some quiet time. And a lot of people, we work from home nowadays, or, you simply want to have a peaceful afternoon. I don't know about you, but have you ever tried taking a nap or hosting a Zoom meeting with your boss or maybe even a client with screaming kids outside your window? Hey, we all love kids and we want them to have fun, but the noise that comes hand in hand with kids having fun is a very common reason why a playground next to your home can be a serious annoyance. And let's not forget that there's also a legal aspect that you need to consider here. If a child gets hurt on that playground, you could potentially be held responsible. And those legal costs, well, guess what? They're shared among all of the homeowners. And that, again, it includes you. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, do me a favor, would you go ahead, hit that like button? It just takes a second, but it really helps me get the word out to other people just like you looking for this kind of information. Okay, next up, let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to buying a townhouse, and that is visitor parking. Now, visitor parking, it might not be top of mind when you're shopping for a townhouse, but it is something that you're definitely going to notice once you move in. If visitor parking is limited, your guests, they're going to end up having to park on the street or possibly even blocks away. And that's just, well, it's plain annoying, especially during holidays or special events when those visitor spots, they all fill up very quickly, leaving your guests with nowhere at all to park. So make sure your complex has ample visitor parking, or those social plans, they could quickly become something frustrating, a frustrating situation. But parking issues, they don't just stop with your visitors. We got to also talk about the types of garages that can become a daily headache if you're not careful. So number 7 is, well, the garage. Parking is one of those everyday factors that can either make your life a lot easier or it can be a pain in the butt, quite frankly. And single garages and tandem garage setups, they're very common in townhouses nowadays. And I'm going to tell you right now, they can be very annoying, especially if you and your partner work different shifts and every morning or evening you're faced with, having to rotate your vehicles just so that you can get off to work on time. Now, obviously, this isn't always an option, and yes, it probably is a first world problem, but ideally, you want to have a double wide garage. And even better, if you can, look for a double wide driveway wherever possible. Now, this is something that a lot of buyers, they don't give it much thought. But just keep that in mind. It just makes parking way easier on the day-to-day, especially if you've got multiple vehicles or if maybe, you need that extra space for storage in the garage. But you know what? even if you've got your parking set up just perfect, there is another thing, and that's poor soundproofing. Soundproofing can, or not having it, or a lack of soundproofing can ruin absolutely everything. So it's something that you definitely need to be on the watch out for, because the last thing you're going to want is to hear your neighbors. You're not going to want to hear them stomping around, arguing, or blasting their music really late at night. And inadequate soundproofing can make a townhouse, it kind of feel like you're living in a fishbowl where every single sound is going to carry. So before you buy, always check on the soundproofing, because thin walls and rooms and floors, it means that you're going to be dealing with constant noise, and that noise can seriously wear on you after a while. But thin walls are not the only issue here. The layout of the townhouse is another really crucial factor that a lot of people actually overlook. Layouts matter more than you might think, and it's not just the layout of your unit, but also the shared walls between you and your neighbors. You've got to ask, does your bedroom share a wall with your neighbor? Is your bedroom next to your neighbor's TV room maybe? I don't know about you guys, but I'm a really light sleeper, and there's certain noises that I don't want to hear from my neighbors, if you know what I mean. Also, although they are getting harder to come by, you're going to want to look for units that have that wider footprint, okay? Fewer floors and minimal stairs if possible. Because the long vertical layouts with multiple layers, they can be a bit of a pain, especially if you plan on aging in your place or if you have any types of mobility issues. Plus, the more common traditional wider layout, it's generally going to be more functional, and it's going to appeal to a sort of a wider range of buyers when it comes time for you to resell. Okay, so we've covered some of the biggest townhouse pitfalls, but there is one that might just be the most important thing, and that one could be a real game changer for you. Now, I get it. I know that townhouses, they might seem really straightforward, but the hidden costs and unexpected rules can come back to bite you. Things like surprise strata fees or unexpected maintenance costs, and those quirky rules that limit how you use your space can turn your dream home into a source of constant stress. So you want to make sure that you always read all of the strata documents and all of the general meetings and all of the special general meeting minutes, okay? You want to make sure that you go back a full 2 years and make sure that you read all of this, okay? And make sure that you read the fine print as well and ask every single question that you can think of. And that way you're going to know exactly what you're getting into before you sign anything. Now, if you think townhouses have their risks, well, you definitely want to check out this other video that I did on the types of condos that you never want to buy. And I say that because condos and townhouses, they're both stratified properties, and there's a lot of overlap in terms of potential pitfalls, things that could literally cost you a fortune if you're not careful. But here's the twist. There's one type of condo that is almost guaranteed to be a complete money pit. And it's one that for some reason, most people completely overlook. So make sure that you're not one of those people and watch this next video.